In this video, we are going to make Git repositories in our local machine and later upload those repositories on the GitHub account using the GitHub Desktop application. So before starting, I have to tell you that this is going to be the first part of this playlist. So this GitHub masterclass will have many videos coming up in the due course. And in this one, we are going to set up our GitHub account through the GitHub Desktop and also creating and pushing the repository on our GitHub account. But first of all, for that, you have to download the GitHub Desktop application. For that, you can search for GitHub Desktop. With this keyword, you can search. And the first link that says desktop.github.com, this is the one. Click this one. And this is the application that we are going to install. And you can see below, this is what it looks like. Whatever changes this developer has done, it is going to look like this. So we have to install this one. For Windows, you can directly download from this button. For Mac OS, you need to download from here. And for other packages, you have to click on this one. So for Windows, I have already downloaded it just to save time. So once it has been installed, I will meet you there. This is the UI of this application. You can see there are three options: cloning a repository from the internet or the GitHub or wherever GitLab you want from. This is creating a new repository and an existing repository from your hard disk. We will look on these things later, but first of all, we have to connect our GitHub account to this desktop application. So for that, you have to go to File, and then you have these options, and then after options, you have to go to Accounts. And in the first Accounts tab, you have two options, github.com and GitHub Enterprise. So for personal GitHub account, you can sign in with this button here and it will take you to a consent screen. You have to log in using your browser. So once you have been authorized, come back. You can see as soon as I'm authorized, my GitHub account is connected. You can check by going back to options and you can see this is the GitHub account it is associated to. So I can see all of my repositories in the background here. You can see these are my GitHub account repositories. And if you are using any code editor of your choice, you can do it from integrations. You can select the editor of your choice. I use Visual Studio Code, so it is here. If you have any other editor, it will be in the drop down below. And you can select whatever shell you want from here. I have Git Bash. Okay. So in this first part, we are going to make a local repository on our hard disk and then upload it to GitHub account. So for that, we can create a new repository on your hard drive. You can give the repository name, any name I will give. And then you can give any description, upload the local repo. And then you can initialize this repository with a readme if you want, or if you don't want, you can just uncheck this. You don't want git ignore because for now it is not required. And we don't need the license as well. So after filling the details here, we just create the repository and it will create the repository on your local hard disk. So our repository has been made. You can see the repository. If you go to this desktop, it says demo part 1. You right click, open it with code. You can see whatever contents it has been initialized with. There are two files, git attributes and readme.md. This is the readme file that was optional. Back in UI, you can go to the history tab that will show you all the commits and everything that you have changed inside your repository. So you can see when I created the repository, it is showing that it has added two files, and at that instance, these are the content of those two files. Upload the local repo and git attributes, some additional lines. So if you go to changes, and now we have made the local repository. Now you can play with this code inside this VS Code. I can type something like uploading the local repo on GitHub account. Okay. Now if you go back to the UI, it will show you this thing. Inside the changes, it will show you that readme.md has been changed. So you can see earlier it was this thing, upload the local repo, and now this additional thing has been added by me. Now, since there are changes inside our repository, we want to commit them. For that, we are going to provide the commit message. You can provide the commit message here. You can see update readme.md in this new file from local repo. Okay. You can provide the description if you want. If you want a detailed description about what you are doing and what you are committing, you can provide it here. And after that, you can commit to main. It will commit to the default main branch. So what you have to do, you have committed, you have made the changes, you have committed the changes, and now you are going to push the changes to the GitHub account. So you can press this button, publish repository, and after that it will ask you what you want the name of your repository to be shown on your GitHub account. So this is not about the local name. This is the name that you want to appear on your GitHub account repository. So you can type anything you want. I will go with the local repo part 1. Okay. Now if you select this option, keep this code private, it will make a private repository in your GitHub account and it will be visible only to you. If you uncheck this, it will make a public repository and others can see that. So once you are done with these details, you can publish your repository. This is as same as doing git push. So when I click this, you can see something is going on here. It is publishing my branch in the background. And then in just a matter of seconds, it has been published to my GitHub account. So you can see view on GitHub. You can see a repository on your GitHub. It looks like this. See, local repo part 1. So it has the readme which I have in the local one, like this one. And it will show you if you go to the UI and if you check the history now, since you have made an additional commit, it will show you the additional commit. That is this one. And in that commit, you have changed these things. You have added this extra content. So I hope you are enjoying this video. If yes, you have to do 2 things on this channel. First of all, you have to click the subscribe button and then you have to turn on all the notifications from this channel so that whenever I post the part 2 or the next part of this playlist, you will get notified instantly. So this is with the first video. We have uploaded a local repository to the GitHub account from the desktop UI application. Now there are many things that this application can do and I will tell you all about it in the upcoming videos. So please stay tuned, and for now, bye bye. Thank you.